Welcome to CYA Condos. I'm Lori Greenlee. Previously, I discussed a few of the questions that anyone purchasing a condo should ask. Some of the things you will want to consider are the same as what you would ask and look for when purchasing a single-family home, but many are different and important enough that if overlooked could be detrimental to your investment. Let's discuss more of these in detail so you can do your due diligence. The rules of a condo homeowners association can affect you quite differently than those of a single-family home or townhome neighborhood's HOA. These will be found in the rules and regulations portion of the covenants, conditions, and restrictions, otherwise known as the CC&Rs. First, let's take a glance at some common differences that you might see, keeping in mind that any of these rules can change at any time, which is a great reason to be involved in your HOA. Let's look at pet policies. Most condo HOAs have some form of pet policies. Some don't allow pets of any kind, or may not allow certain pets such as dogs, or they may put a limit on the weight and number of pets. You may not have a pet and may not be concerned, but still keep in mind how this policy will affect you. If there are a few limitations and your building has many pets, are you going to hear or smell the pets? Are you allergic to them? Or if your building doesn't allow dogs, will that affect resale? More due diligence and consideration may be required. Let's look at rental policies. Most condo HOAs have defined how long they will allow their homeowners to rent their condos to a third party. Some will not allow it at all, and others will allow short-term daily rentals such as those found on Airbnb. But look closely, because if you are purchasing this condo in hopes to use it as such an investment property, and the HOA defines as an acceptable short-term rental as minimum of 6 months, then your Airbnb plan might not work. Also, keep in mind the HOA board can change any of these rules at any time. So if it is okay to rent an Airbnb on day-to-day basis today, that may change tomorrow. Another reason to be involved with your HOA. Even if you are not interested in renting your condo, think about how this short-term policy will affect you personally if your neighbors are purchasing theirs to rent under that short-term policy. Another restriction to pay close attention to is noise and visitor restrictions. Many condo HOAs have implemented specific hours owners can entertain and when noise should be kept to a minimum. Excessive noise, whether that is a stereo, television, live music, kids, or a party during non-restrictive hours, can still be a nuisance and cause for complaint. A condo might not be the best option for a home recording studio. Read those rules carefully, but also think through what isn't in the rules and whether condo living will be accommodating to your lifestyle. If the building you are interested in purchasing in has no restrictions or few restrictions, consider how this might affect you. Are you willing to accept the noise that might come with the lack of restrictions when living under the same roof as your neighbors? Again, more due diligence and personal consideration might be required. Smoking restrictions. Many, if not most, condo HOAs will not allow smoking inside the condo itself. Some won't even allow smoking on the balconies. This can be extremely inconvenient if you are a smoker and are considering a high rise. If you are not a smoker and the building allows smoking in the condo, this may be a deal breaker for you, as it won't take much for your unit to take on the smell. Even if the HOA doesn't allow smoking in the condo itself, but on the balcony, it may bother you knowing that the smell of smoke will be outside when you are on your balcony or can enter your condo when you open your balcony doors. Gas grills and fire pits are most often prohibited because of the fire hazard. HOAs generally will not allow propane tanks on balconies. This is actually a city ordinance in most areas. Some condos have gas lines installed on the balcony so you can hook your grill or fire pit up directly, but don't assume this is the case at all times. If your grill or fire pit is important to you, make sure you confirm there is a gas line or that you can run one outside. Also, make sure you clarify what kind and size of grill or fire pit you are allowed to have on your balcony, as there might be a restriction on that as well. Speaking of balconies, it's important to understand who truly owns the balcony. With that knowledge will come a specific set of responsibilities such as maintenance and repair. Regardless of who owns the balcony, some condo HOAs are very particular about the exterior look of their building and won't allow decorative lights such as the Edison lights many hang above their outdoor tables, or the holiday lights they like to decorate with. Others won't allow trees, plants, or tables with umbrellas. They may even specify exactly what type of furniture is allowed on the balcony and exactly what times of the day that furniture can be placed on the balcony. If this outdoor life isn't important to you, this might not matter, but the lack of these rules might matter to you if it affects the look of your building in a way you don't prefer. Maybe the building you are looking at has no restrictions and neighbors are hanging clothes to dry on their balconies, a look you are not happy with, something to consider with the lack of restrictions and for resale purposes. Let's look at parking. Not everyone who lives in a condo necessarily gets a parking space. Many studios and one-bedrooms don't come with a space at all these days. Other one-bedrooms and two-bedrooms may come with one space. Some spaces are purchased, so ultimately owned and deeded, and some are leased month to month. Once you learn this information, then you need to know what your responsibilities to care for that parking space are. For instance, what types of vehicles are acceptable and not. If you have a truck that is lifted even slightly or with larger tires, will it fit in the garage? Many times they won't, or will only fit on a certain level. Is that where your parking space is? Also, it is usually expected that the car is legally licensed, tags are up to date, and insured, and that the vehicle is always in operable condition. There may be rules about any damage the car does to the space and that no work can be done on the vehicle while in that space, like it could be if it were in a single-family home garage. So read those rules and restrictions closely. There are also rules against keeping anything except an automobile in that space as well, oftentimes. You may appreciate these rules if you are someone who likes a tidy garage. So if these rules are not as structured, you might want to tour the garage and look closely or imagine some of the things that might occur and ask questions. Also, ask about renting extra spaces if you need. Many homeowners don't need their spaces and lease them out. If you need an additional space, you will also want to look at parking garages close to the building you are purchasing in to see what their monthly fee is and to confirm availability so you can add that expense to your budget. Another example is bicycles. Many people who live in high-rises in the city ride bicycles. Many condo owners rely on those bikes as a form of transportation, so seeing a special set of rules in the condo HOA guidelines is common. Some buildings do not allow bikes through the front lobbies to protect the floors, or in elevators, or in the condo unit itself. It will probably be requested that bikes not be stored in any of the common element areas as well. These buildings usually have created designated bike storage areas. You might even find a bicycle repair and washroom in such buildings. Those are a few of the most commonly complained about policies when overlooked, on both sides. Now let's take a look at some of the craziest but real policies that we've run across. I thought it'd be fun to share some of these HOA rules. Even though these may seem silly and ridiculous, they are or were real at one time, which is more of a reason why it's important to review the CC&Rs and the details of each rule to make sure you are able to comply with the current guidelines of the HOA. Hopefully you'll see another reason why it's a good idea to be involved with your HOA so you can help make changes that are best for you. $25 fine for towel sharing. If you don't have a towel of your own, you could be fined $25. There's one. Overnight guest fee. The HOA demands a $10 fee for any overnight guests. That's not a parking fee. That is literally a fee for somebody staying in your condo with you. And if they do need a parking space as well, there's an additional $5 fee if the guest uses the parking spot. Plus, in this case, there was a 2 consecutive night limit for overnight guests, 3 nights during the holidays, though. What about pets? This one is very interesting. The pet's feet must never touch the floor of common areas, or there's a $25 fee per incident. The reasoning is that pets will be too excited and jump on people or have an accident. This is a fun one. Awesomeness is a requirement. A particular building in a hip and expensive area of New York requires tenants to be on the verge artists, but they can't wear high heels because they make too much noise. The board determines what qualifies as on the verge and obviously aren't hip themselves, or they'd know that being hip requires some rad high heels. This is a great website you should check out, 7 Crazy HOA Rules that have actually been enforced. And then there are some other ones, such as how many guests you can actually have in your condo at one time, what type of music you can play, meaning you can't have any profanity possibly, or maybe no rap music, or no rock and roll music, no cooking of fish or seafood as it stinks up the hallways. So I hope you can see the importance of reading those CC&Rs before you purchase your condo, and then how important it is to be involved in the HOA after you've purchased the condo, because just because these rules might fit your lifestyle today, it doesn't mean they're not going to change tomorrow. We're looking forward to helping you with all of your condo needs. Go to cyacondos.com and visit our How We Serve America page. You'll see we are here to help as advisors, educators. We can help you host an event to position you as an expert in the industry. We can help your HOA become certified to help increase your home value, and we will help connect you with the resources such as artificial intelligence that will read your HOA and insurance package to help you understand areas you should be paying special attention to, or maybe you want to know the special FiPhO score of the HOA condo you are interested in purchasing, just like you have your own FICO score. We are experts in the industry and partner with experts in the industry and are here to help in every way possible. Thank you and have a great day.